Ladies and gentlemen, life has a way of testing us in ways we could never imagine. Sometimes it places a heavy weight on our shoulders. Sometimes it pushes us down to the very edge of despair. But hear me now, no matter how dark the tunnel, there is always a light waiting on the other side. There was once a soul, young and broken, carrying the pain of sickness, carrying the weight of loneliness. And when the world said, "You are finished," love came knocking. Not the kind of love you scrolled past on a screen. Not the shallow love that disappears when the storm comes. But a love that breathes life into a weary heart. A love that gives strength to the weak and hope to the hopeless. And in that love, healing began. Not just healing of the body, but healing of the spirit. A love so powerful it reminded us all. You can be at your lowest and still rise again. You can be broken and still be made whole. You can be forgotten and still be found. So let this story be your reminder. No matter how sick, how lost, how far gone you may feel, love has the power to find you. When it does, it will lift you higher than you've ever been before. Stand tall. Keep the faith. Because your story is not over. It's just beginning. Life will test you in ways you never expected. Will come at you in moments when you least see it coming. When everything feels safe, when the road looks clear, suddenly the ground beneath you begins to shake. Life has a way of reminding you that nothing is promised, nothing is certain, and nothing stays the same forever. Sometimes those tests look like pain. Sometimes they look like loss. Sometimes they arrive as silence when you're waiting for answers that never seem to come. And you find yourself asking, why me? Why now? But here's the truth. Life never tests you to break you. It tests you to reveal you. It pulls back the layers to show you the strength that was already inside you. The courage you forgot you had. The resilience you never believed you could carry. Every setback is not a signal of defeat. It's an invitation to rise higher, to dig deeper, to stand taller, and yes, it hurts. Yes, it feels unfair. Yes, it will bring you to your knees. But even on your knees, you are still capable of rising. You are still capable of standing again. Because the test is not about what you lose. The test is about what you discover within yourself while you fight to keep going. When you push through that fire, when you refuse to give up, you come out stronger, sharper, unshakable. That is the purpose of every test life puts in front of you. Pain and loneliness are real, but they are not the end. They come like shadows, creeping into the corners of your heart, convincing you that this is all there will ever be. Nights feel longer, days feel heavier. The world feels empty even when you are surrounded by people. And you start to wonder if anyone could ever truly understand what you're carrying inside. But hear this truth, pain is not permanent, and loneliness is not forever. They are seasons, not destinations. They are chapters, not the whole story. Yes, they cut deep. Yes, they leave scars. But scars are not signs of weakness. Scars are proof that you endured, proof that you survived, proof that you walked through the fire and came out alive. Loneliness may convince you that you are forgotten, but you are not invisible. There is a love, a connection, a purpose still waiting for you. You are not meant to stay in the dark. You are not meant to drown in silence. Pain teaches you compassion. Loneliness teaches you the value of connection. And together, they shape you into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who can recognize real love when it finally appears. So when pain whispers, "This is the end," remember it's a lie. When loneliness tells you, "You are alone forever," know it's not the truth. Because even in your emptiness, life is preparing something greater than you can see. True love shows up when you least expect it. It doesn't always arrive with fireworks or grand announcements. It doesn't come because you've searched endlessly for it. It comes quietly, sometimes in the middle of your storm, sometimes in the silence after the chaos. And often, it shows up right when you've convinced yourself that love is not for you. True love doesn't wait for the perfect timing. It doesn't care about how broken you feel, how many scars you carry, or how many times life has pushed you down. It arrives uninvited, and it brings with it a light you didn't even know you were missing. It teaches you that love is not just words, not just fleeting feelings, but a steady hand when your knees are weak. It is the voice that tells you, you are enough when the world has convinced you otherwise. True love has no script, no warning, no expectation. It is not always about perfection, but about presence. It stays when others leave. It sees beauty in the cracks and strength in the scars. And when it comes, it doesn't just change your days, it changes your entire perspective on life. You begin to understand that love is not something you chase, but something that finds you. And when it does, it fills the emptiness, heals the broken places, and reminds you that even in your lowest moments, you are still worthy of being loved. Real love is not shallow, it endures storms, does not fade when the skies turn dark, does not disappear when challenges rise. It stands firm like a lighthouse guiding a lost ship through the raging sea. Shallow love is easy. It thrives only in sunshine, only when everything is smooth. But real love is tested in fire, proven in the rain, and revealed in the storms of life. It stays when you are at your weakest. It holds on when the world lets go. It doesn't run from the mess. It walks through the mess with you. Real love sees your scars and doesn't flinch. It hears your silence and still understands. It feels your pain and chooses to stay anyway. Storms have a way of shaking the ground, tearing down what is fragile. But they also show you what is unshakable. And that is what real love is. It is unshakable. It is the hand that doesn't slip, the voice that doesn't go quiet, the heart that doesn't abandon. Through loss, through fear, through doubt, real love proves itself again and again. Because love is not about avoiding storms, it is about facing them together. It is about standing side by side when the wind howls and the rain falls. And when the storm finally passes, what remains is stronger, deeper, and unbreakable. That is the love that endures, the love that cannot be washed away. Love has the power to bring healing beyond medicine. There are wounds that no doctor can see, no prescription can touch, and no surgery can repair. They live deep inside the heart, hidden beneath the surface, carried in silence, day after day. Medicine can treat the body, but love reaches the soul. It speaks to the places where pain has built walls and where loneliness has left scars. Love whispers hope when despair tries to take over. It holds you close when the world feels cold and empty. It reminds you that you are not forgotten, not abandoned, not alone. There are stories of people who fought battles the world thought they would lose, yet love gave them the strength to rise again. Because love is more than a feeling, it is energy, it is presence, it is life flowing from one heart to another. It has the power to ease suffering, to calm fear, to spark courage in the darkest moments. Love doesn't cure everything, but it gives the spirit a reason to fight. When the spirit fights, the body often follows. A kind word, a gentle touch, a hand that refuses to let go, these can be more powerful than any medicine. Because healing is not just about the body. It is about the heart finding peace, the soul finding comfort, and the mind finding strength again. That is the kind of healing only love can bring. Brokenness can be transformed into wholeness. Life has a way of breaking us open, leaving us in pieces we never thought we would gather again. Sometimes it's loss. Sometimes it's betrayal. Sometimes it's pain so deep that it feels like the end of everything you once believed in. But brokenness is not the final state. It is the soil where transformation begins. Because in those shattered pieces, there is room for something new to be built. There is space for growth, space for strength, space for love to enter in ways it never could before. Wholeness is not about being flawless. It is about taking the pieces of your past, the fragments of your pain, and allowing them to come together into something stronger, something more beautiful. A broken vase, when mended, carries more value, not because it is perfect, but because it has endured. In the same way, your scars do not disqualify you, they make you extraordinary.
Oh.
The very places you thought were destroyed can become the foundation of your greatest strength. Wholeness is found not in avoiding pain, but in embracing the lessons it left behind. It is learning to see your wounds as wisdom, your failures as teachers, and your cracks as proof that you have lived, you have survived, and you have risen. Brokenness is not the end. It is the beginning of a new creation, a stronger, wiser, unshakable version of you. No one is ever too far gone to be found. You may feel lost in the shadows, buried under mistakes, or drowning in regret. You may believe the world has moved on without you, that your chance is past, that your voice no longer matters. But the truth is, there is no place too dark, no distance too great, no fall too deep for you to be reached. Life has a way of finding those who feel forgotten. Love has a way of reaching into the corners where hope has been silent. Even when you've convinced yourself that you are beyond redemption, beyond repair, beyond return, something greater is searching for you. Sometimes it comes through a hand reaching out when you least expect it. Sometimes it arrives through words that speak life back into your weary spirit. And sometimes it is simply the quiet reminder in your heart that you still matter, that your story is not over. No one is invisible. No one is beyond the reach of love. Even in your lowest valley, even in your silence, even in your brokenness, you can still be found. And when you are found, everything changes. The weight begins to lift. The darkness begins to fade. And you realize you were never truly abandoned, because no one is ever too far gone, no matter how far they think they've fallen. There's always a way back. There's always someone searching, and there's always hope waiting. Hope can rise, even in the darkest season. When the nights feel endless, and the weight of the world presses heavy on your shoulders, it is easy to believe that the light will never return. The silence feels louder than words. The pain feels deeper than healing. The road ahead looks too long, too uncertain, too overwhelming to walk. But hope is not destroyed by darkness. Hope is born in darkness. It flickers like a candle in the night, small but unyielding, fragile yet unbreakable. Even when everything seems lost, hope whispers, "Hold on, keep going." This is not the end. Hope does not need perfect circumstances to exist. It grows in broken places. It rises in empty hearts. It appears in the moments when strength is gone, reminding you that tomorrow can still be different. Hope is not loud. It does not shout. It does not demand. It is quiet, steady, and persistent. And that quiet strength is what keeps you moving when your legs want to give up. The darkest season is not the grave of your story. It is the ground where seeds of change are planted. When the time comes, those seeds break through the soil, reaching for the light. That is what hope doesn't rises, even when everything else has fallen. It reminds you that no matter how long the night lasts, the morning will always come.